Hello and welcome to Storytime with Kay. Today we will read Luca, How to Be a Land Monster by Steve Behling with illustrations by the Disney Storybook Art Team. This book was published by Disney Press in 2021. Have you ever heard those old stories about sea monsters? Some think they're just tall tales meant to scare sailors or keep fishermen away from the good fishing spots. And they're right about krakens and mermaids. Those creatures are completely made up. But as you well know, some of these stories are not made up. Sea monsters like us are very real. Let me introduce myself. I'm Luca, the one with the friendly smile. With me is Alberto. He says he's the handsome one. All sea monsters are friendly. Even though most humans are afraid of us, we're a lot like them in many ways. We live with our families, we hang out with friends, we do chores, and we play games. But the worlds we live in are pretty different. Some sea monsters are full of curiosity about the human world. That's why we're here. Alberto and I are going to teach you how to survive on land. Now, you might be wondering, why would I ever want to explore the world above? Well, let's take a swim and I'll show you. You see those rocky cliffs with the brightly colored buildings and the rolling green hills in the distance? That is Puerto Rosso, the most wonderful seaside town in the world. Just think of all the adventures that await us there. Doesn't that sound amazing? Of course it does. But before we go, we have work to do. Come on. First things first, if you want to go on land, you need to look and act like a human, or a land monster, which is what we sometimes call them. Lucky for us, sea monsters can take on a human form. All you have to do is dry yourself off. What comes after is the hardest part. You have to learn to control your new legs. This is called walking. Alberto says he basically invented walking, so he has a few tips he'd like to share. Alberto's walking tips. Number 1. Walking is just like swimming, but without fins or a tail. Also, there's no water. Number 2. Lead with your head. Number 3. Point your feet where you want to go and catch yourself before you fall. One of the greatest things about transforming into a land monster, apart from walking, is riding a Vespa. What is a Vespa? A Vespa is a scooter. And a scooter means freedom. A Vespa will take you anywhere you want to go. Vespas are in short supply in the ocean. In fact, you might even say they're non-existent. But that doesn't mean we can't put our heads together and make one of our own. Since Alberto likes to collect things from the human world, we have plenty of parts. Here's one of the Vespas we made. Isn't it beautiful? It's important to remember that even if you have the parts to build a Vespa, that doesn't mean you'll get your Vespa to work. When Alberto took ours for a test drive, it didn't exactly go as planned. But that's okay, you can always build a new one. Maybe our time together would be better spent if I give you another tip on how to blend in better with the human world. Alberto suggests styling your hair with sea snail slime. Look at us sporting a cool land monster hairdo. So now you know how to transform, walk, ride a Vespa, and style your hair like a land monster. You're ready to explore Puerto Rosso. As you walk past the land monsters, check out the shops and stroll down the streets. Remember these important do's and don'ts. Do eat watermelon. It's delicious. Don't eat a soccer ball. It is not delicious and also not food. Do listen to land monsters talking. It's like hearing beautiful music. Don't interfere with land monsters playing cards. They are very particular about their games. One of the best things about being on land is making new friends. Take Yulia, for example. She's the one on the bicycle. Alberto and I could tell right away that Yulia would make a fantastic friend. Then there are some land monsters like Yulia's father, Massimo, who might seem kind of scary at first. But once you get past his big muscles and sharp knives, you find out that he's a pretty good friend too. Oh, and we almost forgot to mention this. Beware of cats. Beware! Do not be fooled by their cute noses and whiskers. Although they may appear to be friendly, they are the scariest, furriest monsters of them all. There are all kinds of challenges waiting for us in the human world. Perhaps the greatest one you'll encounter are the humans who really want to catch a live sea monster. Pesky land monsters like these, especially the one guy named Ercole, are the opposite of fun. You have two choices. One, you can avoid these land monsters and hope they won't bother you. Or two, you can stand up to them. After all, you're stronger than they are. You don't have to let these bullies push you around. Want to know about another challenge in the human world? It's a little thing land monsters call rain. Rain is water that falls from the sky, which can make us transform back into our sea monster selves. Who thought that was a good idea? Anyway, if you get caught in the rain and a pesky land monster like Ercole spots you, you'll need to make a fast getaway. And how better to do that than on a bicycle? Make sure you ask your land monster friends to teach you how to ride a bike in case this ever comes up. No matter what you're doing on land, it's important to have a friend to help you out of tight spots. And by tight spots, we mean being caught in a fisherman's net. Despite some dangers, the human world is a very special place. It's full of wonders both small and large, like licking an ice cream cone on a hot summer day, gazing up at a night sky full of twinkling stars, and making a new friend who just happens to be a land monster. You may even get the chance to ride on a real Vespa. You know, one that won't fall apart. Congratulations, you are officially an honorary land monster. And that means the adventures have only begun. I hope to see you on land again soon someday. Just keep an eye out for cats, okay? The end.